Charlie Hamnet asks, it appears the Platonic notion of God, as the Platonists understand it, is that of being impersonal, being idealistic monism. This ties into karma being an impersonal process, and similarly the idea of the absolute/Brahman being an impersonal state. Yet I quite like the idea of God being personable and bestowing grace, as in the Abrahamic tradition. I have heard that Advaita Vedanta has a nuanced understanding of God, that God can be both personal and impersonal, or monistic and monotheistic at the same time. Please explain.
Yes. That's a very important point in Advaita metaphysics. The nature of God. Somebody put it beautifully, in an interview, and this gentleman who is a Vedanta scholar and a devotee in the Vedanta Society of Southern California is interviewed about what exactly is Vedanta, how do you understand Vedanta? And he said, how do I put it? Vedanta, think of Buddhism with God. Which is a fun way of putting it. Yeah. Another person wrote saying that she was into Buddhism. She moved from Christianity to Buddhism. Then she said she moved into Vedanta afterwards. Why? Because she said, I missed God. I missed the old curmudgeon. In Buddhism, no God. So can we have this impersonal philosophy with a personal God? You can. Vivekananda says impersonal in Advaita Vedanta does not mean the negation of personality. He says that you can have as many personalities as you want. There's a cosmic personality of God, which is called Saguna Brahman, Brahman with attributes. Another name is Ishvara, the Lord of all. And then incarnation of God, and as many incarnations, many incarnations in Hinduism, not just one. So multiple incarnations. You can have as many personalities as you like, because it's that one impersonal consciousness appearing as so many personalities. Just look around you, so many personalities around you. And so it can appear as the cosmic divine personality of God, but there's only one of those. But that too can appear in many ways, in many religions and to many mystics across the world in different ways. But it's one God, one cosmic God. So, to put it briefly and more precisely, what is the conception of God in Hinduism? It is impersonal, personal. Impersonal, personal. Impersonal as existence, consciousness, bliss. Pure being, pure awareness. Pure not in the sense of nice and good. Pure in the sense of without any attributes. Pure being, isness, existence itself. Pure consciousness, awareness itself. And ananda, bliss itself. Bliss itself means fulfillment, utter fulfillment. Think about it this way. The three main questions of philosophy. The three great questions of philosophy. What is real? And the branch of philosophy which deals with that used to be called metaphysics, now is called ontology. Then the second, how do we know anything at all? And the branch of philosophy which deals with that is epistemology. And the third, there was this whole group of fields, aesthetics, ethics, all of that is now clubbed under values, So it's called axiology. So this covers broadly more or less all of philosophy. Ontology, epistemology, axiology. And there are three questions. What is real? How do we know anything? And what's good or beautiful? And now notice the three ways in which the absolute is described in Vedanta. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Being, consciousness, bliss. Notice how these are three answers to these three questions. What is real? Existence itself. Just being itself is the only reality that there is. Then second, how do we know anything? Consciousness. Chaitanya. That being has this characteristic of being ever shining. Not just a dark, dead being, but ever shining. So that shining itself makes knowledge possible. And then that being itself is all fulfillment. Whatever we are trying to do in life, reach for fulfillment through ethics. Whatever is good, whatever is beautiful, is we are trying to reach that absolute reality. And that itself is all fulfillment, ananda, bliss. So that's the impersonal conception of the ultimate reality in Vedanta, in Advaita Vedanta. But then there's a personal conception also. That impersonal reality in association with the power of Maya, and where does Maya enter the picture? All that there's enormous complication there. But in association with the power of Maya is called God, the personal God. And that personal God is also infinite, and it can be expressed with infinite characteristics. The impersonal Brahman, no characteristics, no attribution. You say, didn't you just say it is Sat, Chit, Ananda? Aren't those attributes? They are not. But we can discuss that. They are the very nature. They are not qualities of God. They are what the impersonal God is, or the ultimate reality is. But the personal God has many attributes. All loving, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. Basically the powers we associate God with. All auspicious qualities. Ananta Kalyana Gunagana, in the language of Ramanujacharya. Endless auspicious qualities. So that is the personal God. And that personal God can be worshipped in many ways. Because it's of infinite attributes. You can worship as Vishnu, as Shiva, as Devi, with human form, with non-human form, with no form. Formless, but with qualities. He mentioned the God in the Abrahamic religions. God in the Abrahamic religions is this personal God. The God who is all-powerful, all-loving, just. In Abrahamic traditions, without any form. It's formless. In Vedanta, with form and without form. You know, when you say, oh, but Hinduism worships God with so many forms. But when you go to the hymns and the mantras associated with God with form, with Vishnu or Shiva, you'll always see the Nirguna, Nirakara also mentioned. The formless, God as formless. So formless with attributes. With form and with attributes. And with human form and human attributes also, as the incarnations of God. Multiple incarnations of God. So these are the two ways in which God is understood in Hinduism, with the impersonal, personal.